My name is Leah Goche. I'm a PhD candidate in Charlottetown, partially between the University of Prince Edward Island and Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada.
My name is Patrick Bunston. I do the coffee at the Charlottetown Farmers Market. I also work for a music publishing company based in Toronto.
So in addition to myself and Patrick, we also have our third cooperative member, Dylan Tierney. Patrick has known him for a very long time. I met him whenever me and Patrick started dating 5 or 6 years ago. Yeah, he's been a great third party to the cooperative. I think me, Patrick, and Dylan all bring different strengths and backgrounds to the co-op.
Valley Co-op is, it's not unique, but it is an unusual cooperative in that it's a co-op house rather than co-op housing. It's a house that a group of tenants gather together to purchase using a cooperative model. There are a lot of goals that you can achieve better if you work together with like-minded people, and sometimes it's best to have a limited liability corporation to achieve those goals with, because if something goes wrong, you don't want people suing you and taking your house and your car.
Having known each other prior to purchasing a house together was definitely very helpful in being able to move into this endeavor feeling safe and having trust in each other.
Knowing Dylan for so long, and like he and I had kind of toyed with the idea of owning something together, it really added to the amount of trust. And you know, having the co-op as a structure is an extra layer to sort of solidify that trust, because even if things don't work out, we know that the co-op can be dissolved and that we can all, you know, get our investment back. Eventually, my family was approached by the credit union because they wanted to expand their building. We approached them to ask them about the possibility of buying it. They didn't really go for it originally when we pitched just the 3 of us buying it, and then we floated the idea of doing it as a co-op, and I'm not sure if that really sealed the deal or if it was kind of our tenacity, but we had a pitch to them that was real, which was that we didn't want to get pushed out of the community, and they were receptive, which is, I think, a great thing.
The values that we follow, they don't have to be specific to home ownership. This co-op for us may not only be used for buying a house and living together. If we one day decide to sell the house and move on to other things, we can potentially use this co-op to own other things together, or pursue any sort of other endeavor as a group, not just buying a house.
I think our guiding principle is maximizing the well-being of the members of the Valley Cooperative. So right now, what that means is roof, shelter, and a safe haven from the wildly exploitative rental market.
We have done some physical renovations and some that went a little bit deeper than that as well. We've done lots of painting, obviously buying new furniture, rearranging spaces to accommodate each of the members and how we like to use spaces, and giving the person that lives with us a good space to live in.
In this respect, it's kind of typical home ownership. So it's dealing with the day-to-day stuff and then dealing with the bigger issues when they arise. So just, you have to recognize that when you're buying a house, you have to expect that every job will turn into 3 jobs and all of it's expensive.
And it's so nice in those situations to have multiple people being able to work on the project. So not only is the cost distributed amongst more people, but the work is too.
And the cleanup.
And the cleanup. And it just makes it just so much easier. I really enjoy home renovations and decorating spaces, so I really like the freedom that it gives me.
You're really good with the outdoors.
Yeah, and it's given me the opportunity to have a garden, which I would never have had otherwise, and space for our cat to exist and roam around, which is so nice.
I think a huge thing about cooperative home ownership is that it can help you get a jump start on building equity. So there are some trade-offs, and you may not be able to sell without tax implications for years, but you may be buying a house like 5 years, 6, 7 years earlier than you might have otherwise. Or maybe you're buying a house where you wouldn't have at all.
If anybody is interested in reading a little bit more about cooperative homeownership, myself, Patrick, and Dylan created a short guidebook that people can have a read through. The document's available through the PEI Cooperative Council. It's available for anybody who's interested in learning a little bit more about cooperative homeownership and figuring out if it is a choice that may work for you and your peers.